Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. What's going on? It's me, the bestie boy ever, doing a little podcasty thing with some people I know from the internet. Say hi, everybody. Just say some words so they know you're here.
Hello, words.
Hey, it's
everybody.
me.
Thank you. All right, here's my pitch. Before I introduce who's here, this is my pitch for the podcast. I don't have a name. I don't have a concept. I thought I'd do it first and decide things later. All right, here's what I'm thinking. I want to call it, right now, tentative title, The Gamerzone, okay? Welcome to The Gamerzone, where we play the game of life and stay winning.
Wow.
That's the name of the podcast.
That's good.
Yes,
That's
okay,
good.
so-
It's a good tagline.
I think so.
Very catchy. Although you
Yeah.
mentioned you wanted to call it "Do It First, Ask Questions Later," right?
Yeah, is that good too?
Yeah. No, I think that you can call it the DIFAQL't Podcast. You know, to fit the theme. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, sure. All right, well, introducing himself. Well, first of all, we've got AFY-Sama, everybody's favorite anime shit. Oh, no, it's Afy.
I can't believe you do me like this, huh? You can't
I'm
believe
so sorry.
at first.
Afy-Sama is here.
Yeah, it's me, Afy. I make memes, I guess, on the internet.
Although I knew you when you were a lowly AFY-kun, but now you've grown up and you're so big and strong now. It's it's
Dude,
beautiful.
I remember him back in the Anime For You days.
Oh no!
Of
Oh,
course,
shit!
we all remember that. It's almost like your current name derives from that in some way.
Almost.
Cybershell is here. Everybody's favorite internet deep lore commentator. Operation Soda Steel was masterminded by him, was an inside job. Welcome, Cyber. Good to see you.
All you guys are like fucking anime dorks. I'm the only here who's an adult who makes videos about grown-up things like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic is anime.
Hey, I get
Sonic is
get
anime.
so much hate for not making anime videos anymore. I think I qualify for not being an anime guy, okay?
Okay, if you're
true. I've
pissing
been-
off
I've
your
been on video
audience
game.
for not making the videos they want, then I can respect that.
Hell yeah.
Of course. And it's Nux Taku, everybody's least favorite. Oh, the haters. I can feel the haters coming in. Nux, what do you have to say to them?
Hey, haters, welcome. Leave a like, subscribe for future video.
Everybody's favorite musician, right?
That's me.
Yeah, you've really been on a tear. New song like yesterday, right?
True. Didn't get canceled for this one yet. Did get canceled for the previous one, though, so that's good.
That's delightful. I'm glad to hear that. Do you have any history in music? Because you seem like I too share a passion for making silly YouTube musical things. Is that a long time thing for you, or is it something you've discovered more recently?
It's something I'd say I discovered more recently. And it's so funny. I did like the Hamilton one before.
Yeah, right.
And I got so many comments like, "Wow, you copied Best Guy Ever and made also a Hamilton."
You know, I wanted
was like,
to ask
what?
about. I was curious if there was any inspiration because like a couple of months before I happened to do one, I was wondering if there was a.
No, it was
any thought-
honestly.
which there'd be no shame. There would be no. I copied Hamilton. You know.
I'm so glad Nate invented the idea of a Hamilton parody. So
Well,
I know, I was the
apparently that's
originator.
what my comments thought. Okay, so.
Well, you know, they go from a good YouTuber to Nux, so
Yeah,
there's only
right, yeah.
an explanation. You know, you guys are great, Afy, Cyber. I love your content, but Nux here is the guy I kind of carry with me as I go about my day. The deepest inspiration. You know, whenever I'm feeling down, I think back to Nux's work, and I just remind myself that I'm the Chad type, very poggers, mad type, Monka S mad lad type, Pepe clapping, rad type.
Wait, hold on.
And,
you remember the lyrics?
Of
What?
course I remember. It's my inspiration
Dude,
every day.
It was such a shit post. You have any idea how much trouble that got me in? That was on the top of r/cringe. Okay.
How does it got you in trouble?
Nux. You know, when a man keeps winning as consistently as you, it's humanizing to take NL once in a while.
Dude, you know
Wouldn't you agree?
Cosmonaut Marcus?
Yeah, I do.
He posted on Twitter a clip of my song saying, "I can't believe people still watch this anime incel misogynist."
With that as the evidence?
Yeah, that was the evidence.
Oh, that's, I couldn't disagree more vehemently. That
Right.
is the main reason why I love your work.
Yeah,
Clearly,
thank
it's your
you.
anthem, Nate.
Yeah,
It is my personal anthem. And it's great. Well, as you can see, we've got a cast of very talented individuals here who run the gamut from the best in the game, me, to Nux, it's delightful to gather together.
Is the theological endpoint of YouTube is just it's all just a gambit to pivot to like a music career? Everything is just the lead up to that.
It does seem to go that way. on a long enough timeline, or I don't know, like I guess the short-lived like attempts of YouTuber like PewDiePie trying to get into like the YouTube Red original show thing, that seems to have kind of like gone away lately. Is anybody doing anything like I don't know, I haven't heard anything in years about
I know like
any shows like
Lele
that.
Pons or something did something like that recently.
I mean, the new thing seems to be boxing at this point.
It's like,
that's true.
yeah, that's a good
true,
point.
Which I would box Nux any day of the week.
I would not.
love to do that.
You're the Monka ass mad lad type. I don't know.
I know who can stand up to that.
It seems like for a long time it was like everyone's obsessed from trying to transfer from YouTube to like mainstream success, but now it's like
But it didn't work.
now
It didn't
mainstream media is trying to transfer to YouTube. It's like the other way around. Like everybody just kids today just want to be popular on YouTube. They don't even want to be like TV celebrities. That's stupid.
I mean,
that's for boomers.
True.
I mean, it's
Nobody watches TV anymore, right?
especially
Jimmy Fallon play Among Us or something. That was the weirdest moment ever.
I mean, especially during
Pretty
like
sus.
2020 when like pandemic, a lot of TV people couldn't do what they usually do. They all went to YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. Although even before that, there were like they would just like port clips of their show to YouTube because
I mean, definitely.
YouTube is like way more popular with the key demo of like the 20 to 30-year-olds or something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It seems like the place to be for the few. I mean, I don't know about you. I don't even own like a TV connected to anything.
Same.
What was the last time you guys watched TV?
Years,
Oh yeah, I don't own like
forever
a
ago.
connected to the TV thing.
The last time I've watched TV has to be like in a hotel somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, or in the airport or something.
I mean, I'll pirate shows, but I won't watch TV. I assume you're saying is the question.
Yeah.
Same thing here. Once Netflix, I guess, was up and running, and we could like all the shows that people cared about were accessible.
Oh
through
yeah, I guess I
internet
legally
connection.
stream shows too, but it's more fun to pirate.
Rarely.
Honestly. It's
The
still more fun
greatness
to
of
pirate.
Netflix and a good VPN, you know what I'm saying?
So true. I couldn't. Hey, everybody, go to NordVPN. Link in the description. I have a NordVPN code. Give me money, please.
Hey.
You get a surprisingly decent amount from those, I must say. So,
I mean, Surfshark
help
has
your
been
boy.
paying me handsomely, I have to say.
There you go. There you go.
Honestly, it's been kind of interesting to me to see like when people first started doing like sponsored advertisements of videos, I was like, oh, there's no way this is gonna like stick around. People are gonna hate this, but it's like weirdly like become so normal. Like I don't even see people today, especially like kids. Like it's just like completely normalized to them to see advertisements by their favorite
It is a
YouTubers in
change.
videos.
Well,
and I mean,
to-
I
it is a
actually,
big change.
To
Let
be
me
fair,
say,
real quick,
television
I
had
actually do
ads.
appreciate it. It's like you can't rely on AdSense to be like consistent.
I was just gonna
you know
say
what I
the
mean?
demonetization that
It-
continues is a major push for that.
It does make sense to me. I'm not like shitting on it or anything. It's just like interesting to me seeing like it change over time. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just feel like 10 years ago doing advertisements like that in a video, people would like crucify you for that kind of shit.
To be fair, I don't know
absolutely,
why
absolutely.
people would when like we already used to like what minutes of advertisement in between like a show's episode.
Right.
It's got to tie into like the factor of authenticity that was especially there in the early days of YouTube, that it was just like a dude in their bedroom doing stuff. But now that like the YouTube industry of people like us to a degree are like trying to make a career off it and stuff, like there's the element that it's just more, it takes more money to run, and then the fact that people are just getting used to, people have like, they need to have a budget, they need to be able to pay like editors and a couple other people, I guess, to keep them running, as well as the mortgage, now that all the early YouTubers are now like 40 years old and they have kids and a wife and family, and you know, they need to live.
That's a big waste of money. Here's my advice to upcoming YouTubers: do not get married, do not have kids, only invest in your YouTube career.
That's it. That's it. Just hire a good studio to mix your music.
True.
That's the first
true.
time I realized fucking YouTube was getting old when YouTubers I followed now has family and kids. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
I know, right? I mean, my friends in real life are like starting, they've been for a couple of years, are starting to have kids and families and stuff, and it's a change. And the YouTubers, of course, are just the real life reflection of that. It's so weird to reflect every once in a while how new this whole like internet world is. That's such a huge thing, at least for me, and I assume most of you guys.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
every day, it just came out of fucking nowhere.
Dude,
I guess like 10
TikTok,
years ago.
right? TikTok is so
Right?
it's so huge, and I can't understand it. I feel like such a boomer going on TikTok.
I feel
Me
like
too.
out of all of us, I might be the youngest in this whole group.
Probably true. You want to share your age? Or
I
you wanna-
am 19.
No,
Everybody
no.
laugh at him for being young.
A child, literal child.
So, do you understand TikTok then, Affy? Do you know what the kids are doing over
My
there?
siblings fucking are on that shit. They could talk. I mean,
Are they even younger than you?
I have older
of them?
siblings, younger. Yeah, some of them are younger
Oh
than
yeah,
me. Yeah.
okay.
But like, I mean, I get it. It's like, I mean, when TikTok came out, to a point, there was like a lot of like cringe stuff because like it derives from what was it?
Vine, right?
Musically?
It's new Vine.
No, it came from
yeah,
Musically,
yeah.
where like there was only like people dancing to music, but then TikTok.
There's a
bought
lot of
that
fucking lip syncing. You better
Yeah,
like
yeah.
lip syncing
Yeah,
and dancing
yeah.
But
if you like TikTok.
TikTok became like, I mean, TikTok became so huge that like there's so many people on it. There's definitely good content on it, but there's definitely
true,
a
it's
bunch
true.
of cringe.
Yeah. It's like YouTube now. It's just like a little version of YouTube
It
for
is.
Zoomers, honestly. Like, I
And
mean,
to be fair, the algorithm on TikTok is actually really good. If you're like on it. On it a good enough time, TikTok will just recommend you videos that you will like or find funny.
I don't
And
know.
I've seen some
I don't know about
amazing
that.
things. Well, I've seen some amazing things evolve on there. The favorite of all of them, I know, like in TikTok world, we're already like 10 lifetimes past this. But when like the people came together and made that entire Ratatouille musical with like there were like set designers and people creating dancer or like entire dance numbers and like an entire catalog of the soundtrack.
there's been some pretty impressive like TikTok stuff. I agree. Like, I had this inclination where I just see it and I'm like, I have the exact same thought where I'm just a boomer. I don't fucking care about this. I don't want to learn a new fucking site. First of all, I just have this natural revulsion. It just makes me sick to my stomach when I see vertical video, and I need to get over
agree.
that. But I just
Absolutely.
I don't know what,
wrong.
like,
Dude,
I just need
it's
to
wrong.
get over it because, like, this is kids today, especially now, are growing up with TikTok. It's going to be completely normal to them. And, like,
I mean,
I don't know. It's
look,
hard for me to
YouTube
explain why it's
Shorts.
objectively bad. Yeah,
Can you
YouTube's trying to do
understand
this
YouTube
shit.
Shorts. YouTube's like, oh yes, we have TikTok now too.
Dude, I made
And they
I
have
made
to
my
be
first
vertical.
YouTube short the other day for like a little like the Mickle tease video that I made or whatever. I spent like an entire day trying to figure out how to fucking make the video vertical and insert it into YouTube somehow because I was like, I can't post this to like a normal upload. I'll be cringe and they'll kill me if
Have
I
you
do
guys
that.
gotten the email from YouTube like say, "Oh, make it to YouTube Shorts and join the BTS what was it hashtag and dance to their song, whatever"? Do you guys got that email?
No, I don't
I mean,
think
I
so.
might have.
Though
I don't
rarely check
actually
that
read
email.
YouTube emails. Although,
Yeah.
YouTube followed me on Twitter yesterday, and I
Based.
was terrified. I was terrified. I don't know
Top
why.
10 ominous
coming for
They're
moments,
keeping
eh?
track of
They're
the shit you
closing
do
in.
now.
I don't
yeah.
even follow them. I'm probably gonna block them.
Chad move. Chad move.
I would go as far to say that it's a monka ass mad lad move.
Well, in turn, when you fucking
couldn't
add
agree
them,
more.
they might notice you faster.
Well, that's true. I mean, there is real utility. I mean, we've all experienced, like when my fucking YouTube channel
Got
got
hacked.
stolen by the dastardly Brad Garlinghouse like 2 years ago. Damn you, Brad! I'll still get back.
I don't see why you're so mad at him. If you guys just quit YouTube, invested all your money in Ripple, you would be millionaires by now.
We would have gone to the moon long ago and been well
was
past.
trying to help
Starfleet
you
would have been
guys.
founded by now.
Yo, guys,
I
I was
know,
thinking.
yeah,
I was
it's true.
thinking of saving some kids. What's your thoughts?
Bad idea.
Oh, no?
Save no children.
Leave them to die.
Leave no child undestroyed.
God, I wish I was smart enough to run a crypto scam, but I'm not.
Well, what was I saying? I was just saying that, like, when I was trying to get my channel back and stuff, for my main channel that was, like, the biggest of the channels that got hacked at that point, it took, like, messaging them on YouTube, on Twitter, like, adding them there. People always said that did something, but for me, I think it was really all about the back end, like, going through the partner program and, like, reaching out through like the back channels that you have access to as a YouTube partner or whatever. I think that's what really did it, but everyone always says that it's the Twitter hookup that really gets like any kind of momentum.
I mean, the Twitter hookup did help me when my whole channel got terminated, right?
Oh shit, really? Okay.
'cause,
Okay.
like,
I
at one
thought
point-
I was having a hard time. Oh my god, I'm with someone who got hacked, someone who got terminated.
my whole channel got terminated like
someone who
immediately
has
with
a
no
Sonic.
like usually.
Was it a 3-strike thing or just a
No,
instantly
like usually
gone?
it would be 3 strikes, right? But it was instantly gone, right? Because like I
Oh, so
made
you got Mumkey Jones basically.
because like there was
Yeah.
one video I made. It was like it was when the crab meme was popular, right?
It's still popular to me.
Yeah, I make that.
Yeah.
I made that one meme where like what was it? It's like
Aaron is dead. I don't know. What would you do? I'm just.
And it
thinking
was
that.
like it was about like a lolly, right? But like, oh, it's a cat girl,
Yeah.
so technically it's 100 years old, and then crap means.
Oh, I remember that.
Even
I remember
PewDiePie
that
reacted.
video.
Yeah, even PewDiePie reacted to that one, right? But
Yeah,
that one
yeah.
got taken down. My whole channel was taken down. It was like
Yeah, man.
endangering children or some shit, right?
course.
And
Holy
I'm like,
Christ.
it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was crabs dancing. Literally, there was no even
You know,
no
it's
even
gotta be
sexual
that
selection
thing.
either, right?
That's one of the scary things about YouTube that like I think your average YouTuber, it's like cops always say that like if they see you drive from one end of a road to another, excuse me, like a cop will be, like your average cop on the beat or whatever, will find some infraction and be able to pull you over or whatever. I think YouTube is like exactly the same, where any video probably is committing like some minor inference or infraction, especially now the terms are like more vague than ever. So like when you rise, when the one nail rises too high above the others and like PewDiePie reacts to it or whatever, that draws a lot more eyes. And like they can probably find, some reason to get mad at it or whatever. So in a sense, I don't know, it's kind of good to stay a little bit below the radar when it comes to stuff like that.
So the reason why I think like the Twitter thing helped is because like I made a huge fuss about it on Twitter. Everybody was like retweeting or whatever, and then one guy who has like contacts through YouTube got back to me in DMs and then like said, "Oh, I'll help you sort this thing out," and then I got my channel back. So like I think it like helps you to like make it aware so people know, so people maybe like you have a chance to get like a contact or like somebody, because at that time I didn't have any like ways to go through like partner program like through YouTube or whatever, because like it was way before I don't think I had 100K subs at that point either.
Yeah, if you don't have 100K subs, YouTube doesn't care about
They just don't care.
It's
They
a very
just don't
precarious
care.
position there. You can just wake up and your entire channel, your whole source of livelihood is just deleted.
I mean, to be fair, I have 2 million subs and they don't care about me either, so don't feel bad.
Right. Yeah, that's actually,
true.
it's nice. It's a form of equality. We're finally getting to the point where YouTube won't help anyone. I guess unless
There
you're
we
like
go.
a fucking 10 million sub, like, I don't know, one of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw, YouTube didn't pay me for 4 years. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I heard
Right.
that. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
That's
I feel
crazy.
that
shit,
gave me
man.
anxiety listening to that story.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, you commented on the video, Afy.
Yeah, it's fucking Jesus Christ.
I think that YouTube found themselves in a weird position, which is weird considering like it was bought by Google, I think with the intention of this, but I think they didn't really know like the beast that they were getting on the back of, that like they, because it's all individual people running their own channels. I think they have a lot of fear that like any individual person will like become an issue for them, because I mean there's so many people on channels and stuff that they're a little concerned of like giving those people any kind of like rights or giving them too much power or whatever, because they run the risk of like a bad PR thing if one of them does something like problematic or troublesome, and then they're worried about it. I don't know, I just think that they're like in the position that YouTube's come into, we always say that like we want them, like when people talk about running ads or whatever, they don't feel that like an ad that runs on a video is like the responsibility of that like of the video itself and the people who made it or whatever to like worry about that. But on a PR level, they can always like make an issue of something like that if they want to. And I think YouTube's just like concerned that they're going to look bad as it goes. And I think that's one of the incentives why they kind of want to keep like the rules really vague for everybody and not give anybody too much like reason as to why they do anything ever.
Yeah, you're right. It definitely behooves them to not be completely transparent about everything, and like they will take measures to influence the site's culture. Like they just decided one day they didn't want that Leafy kid on the site anymore, and he's banned, and they did it very quietly.
Have you seen the political channels getting nuked?
I mean, the scary thing about his whole policy changes or whatever is like the further you create videos or whatever and then upload your shit, and the policy changes and stuff, your old videos might not at some point it won't fit in the
that's a
policy
fear.
anymore, and then you
right,
get
yeah,
terminated.
I got a
That's the
copyright
thing.
strike yesterday on a 2.5-year-old video.
Yeah, I've had that.
Copyright strike.
I remember back in the day you could just use copyrighted material and nobody gave a shit. So I have a bunch of copyright shit in
At
my
that
old videos.
point, they could literally copyright strike 3 old videos from 10 years,
right,
from
at
5
once.
years ago. At once, I'll get my channel taken down. Like that could happen.
And you know, I've heard some people talking lately that like, on a certain level, let's say YouTube started, you could use all kinds of copyrighted stuff and nobody cared at the time, and then it grew. So like, okay, we can kind of understand why that would change over time. And maybe even to put it like cynically, maybe there are some people who make content that like isn't appropriate in like the legal sense, that it uses too much of like the people who used to upload full episodes of anime way back in the day. Like, okay, I get
Heroes.
why the heroes for sure, but I get why that's like inappropriate for YouTube now that it's a more corporate thing. But like on the other hand, there's got to be some consideration. I've heard some people talking about this lately, that like the rights of the people who have like built a career on YouTube. I know they don't own YouTube and they sign a form, but there is such a thing as like you can't sign a contract. Someone can write on a piece of paper, sign this paper and like I own you, or maybe not something illegal, but like you have to give me $1 million by signing this line, and I will give you like 1 stick. Like you can sign that, but there is a legal precedent. There's a legal function that that you don't actually have to do that just because you said you did, because the terms are so unreasonable. That kind of idea, I'm speaking overly generally, but that idea does exist in law, and the idea of somebody getting their channel just stolen kind of seems like it's going too far in the protecting the big boys and unfairly punishing people who spent like possibly an entire career building something up on YouTube, just have it stolen. And
Right.
I don't know, some kind of protection of that, like to some degree, seems like a good idea. I don't know.
It is
at
very
some point.
unfortunate how like copyright in general only seems to serve these bigger corporations and companies, and it is kind of interesting to think
That's
like
what copyright
now
is.
YouTube has
Yeah.
now YouTube has all this power and influence, but like where did that even come from? Where did it originally come from? It came from people uploading full anime episodes and people just uploading random shit in their room. You know what I mean? Like
And
that's how
bum
YouTube
fights and whatnot.
got
Yeah.
popular in the very, very first place. You know what I mean? So it's like the only reason these corporations can even have YouTube as their
mean, it's-
playground is because of stuff
that's
like that.
literally why.
On the one hand, you're right. But on the other hand, like, you're looking at it from a big corporation perspective. Like, I don't think that Shueisha cares if I upload a One Piece episode. Like, it doesn't affect them, right?
It seems like the Japanese companies are like the most vicious.
Oh yeah,
to me,
they're
but
they're
I
evil.
get your point.
Shueisha
Yeah.
gave me a copyright strike yesterday.
Japanese copyright is like
Oh, yeah, there you
somehow
go.
worse.
But, like,
I don't
at
even
least,
understand.
At least it's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
Twitch, right? Because like Twitch has
Right.
no moderation at all. Like there's no copyright law until they decide, oh yeah, we're taking down 12 channels, right? But
Yeah.
Like-
they fear the DMCA over at Twitch. It was like they're afraid. They're like afraid to play music over there, like any music. Really, it's crazy. Video game music is like the last bastion of safety we have.
Oh,
Even that,
video game
even
music
that,
has saved me so many
even
times.
that is
over the
coming
years.
under attack. Just recently, Sony or someone released a CD of Earthbound music, and now old Earthbound
no.
Let's Plays are getting claimed just because
No.
the music's in the system. And it's not it's not like instantly claimed. It's not like you can't play Earthbound, you'll automatically get claimed. But some guys like Chugga Conroy is like, yeah, so my old Earthbound Let's Play videos are just disappearing. They're not even getting like copyright strikes. They're getting removed from YouTube, disappearing.
And again, like you can see kind of why, but something feels wrong in that
don't
situation. Like this shouldn't be happening.
There should be like this grandfather clause that it grandfathers you in if what you did was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For example, you don't cancel someone off a tweet from 2004 if the tweet was appropriate in 2004.
Especially
You know?
since Twitter didn't even exist back in
Yeah, yeah.
2000.
Yeah, you know what I mean, okay?
No, I get no, for real though. Like 2009, I agree. Like trying to cancel someone off shit like that, it's just like I don't know. I don't want to like be making too much excuses, but like culture was just different. Edgy stuff was so in vogue. Like people like
That's
you know
true.
people
That's true.
used to just say the N-word constantly on YouTube like 5 years ago, like fucking iDubbbz, and just nobody gave a shit. I mean, people gave a shit, but like. It was a different culture, I just want to say. So it's like trying to cancel someone based on super old tweets. I agree.
I mean,
It's-
and
It was a
especially
minority, like a real minority that actually cared.
Well, it definitely seems to be the squeaky wheel getting the grease with stuff like that most of the time. But and also just the fact that people do like change, and it's a case by case basis. But like even if someone did something like, let's say they're a murderer, but it's 20 years later, and let's say they went to jail for a good amount of time, and now they're like living a family and they're taking care of people and they seem like a good person or whatever. Then like should that person be in trouble? I mean, it seems like they paid the price. That,
okay, I
that
sort of get what
we
you're
want
saying
them
here.
to,
Like,
so,
there is
yeah.
a certain inclination where it's like once someone has been like, there's inclination to never forgive someone. You know what I mean? Like once you get called out for like saying some shit.
Yeah.
And there's like this weird thing on the internet now, whereas I'm enough of a boomer where all of my oldest, most embarrassing shit is gone forever. But kids today don't have that luxury.
right,
They're posting
right.
shit on YouTube that's still there.
Just the other day I was looking at my Game Facts posts from
Yeah.
my old and you know
Right.
what? I was deeply ashamed of them because I used too many emojis, too many ooh-woo
So
kind
many
of things,
faces,
too many.
yeah.
Dude, you
I was
still
using,
do
I was using
emojis.
XDs and everything, man.
Oh yeah.
You still do
rampant
XDs. Have your messages
remains
end with like
pure.
alien face emoji.
I'm the only guy I know who still uses emojis unironically because they add context to the sentence. Damn it! There's nothing wrong with a well-placed emoji. You just don't get crazy.
Yeah,
with
they're
it.
like hieroglyphics. I like them.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, they're like kanji, and I'm a true Japanese Nihonjin in my soul, so
Wow.
it's
Kinda
just,
like kanji.
I mean, for me, it's a way for me to find out who's old and who's young.
That's true. And I'm young at heart, so
Yeah.
I give myself permission.
Yeah.
Well, hey, since that conversation sort of tailed off, I have a question that sort of, I guess, kind of continues from that. And it was, instead of YouTube itself, I was curious about y'all's thoughts on, like, the future of media in general. We're kind of talking about how like corporate control seems to be clamping down, and I don't know, it's squeezing in some kind of weird, something changed. I've been observing for a while that like in the 90s, there was a lot of great content being made really fast by the same fairly giant corporations that exist today. For me, it's always going to be Square Enix, or they were Square at the time, as like the biggest one. And now, like, even the same people are still working there, the same company exists, even the same franchises, and yet something is different and gone and wrong. And I'm wondering what you guys see as, like, do you share my doom and gloom for the future that there are bad incentives somewhere out there and it's leading to kind of worse media in general, like games, anime, TV shows to a degree? Do you share my doom and gloom? Like, okay, the only thing I cared about of, like, the new anime season at all was Dragon Maid Season 2. Dragon Maid Season 2 is made with craft and love and passion, and it gives me hope that
and
not
boobs.
all anime is bad for, and gigantic big old milkers and big dragon claws, which is a true thinking man's fetish. So what do you think? Any thoughts on there? Afy, I know you have made Dragon Maid things.
I mean, have you guys watched that one new Chinese anime, Link Click?
Oh, I heard good things
I heard about it.
but I didn't.
I watched it like last night, and it was like very, very different, right? It feels like anime, right? But at the same time, it's like it's like something new, something fresh. The way they like storytelling and shit, and the music and soundtrack is also very. It was like refreshing to watch. I enjoyed it, and
I'll definitely give it a shot. You guys heard of Quite, YouTube guy?
Nope,
I
don't
have.
think so.
So I'm friends with the dude. He actually asked me for anime recommendations because he's been getting into anime lately. And he's like, oh, so my friend recommended to me Jujutsu Kaisen. And I'm like, okay. Anything else? Yeah. I also heard that Tokyo Revengers. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay. So he must have seen like all the good stuff then, right? And then I'm like, okay, so have you seen Code Geass? No. Fate Zero? No. One Punch Man? No. Mob Psycho? No. Attack on Titan? No. Like,
okay, so he's a more contemporary guy.
I'm like, wait, but like he hasn't seen any of the good stuff.
Well, see, my mind goes to, have you seen, I mean, of course, Gurren Lagann, the greatest show ever made. Have you seen, like Gunbuster? Have you seen Die Buster, Foolie Cooley, Cowboy Bebop,
so
Ghost in the Shell?
The reason why I mentioned these, it's because, you
start with those.
All the recommendations he got are like the recent stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, recent anime is kind of bad.
This is my fear that
kind of bad.
I don't know, like what changed? There's been a lot of talk of like, if you're talking about anime specifically, the anime industry, like Evangelion began a new era of like, I don't know, ongoing shows of incredible quality for like a good decade or two, something like that around there. Of course, there were great OVAs in the 80s and stuff. And the thing is, like Dragon Maid, right? What makes Dragon Maid good? What makes it good is that it's made by KyoAni, and everything they make is of quality and is worth your time.
They put care and love into it, yeah.
Yeah. But the other companies, like, do they share the same? Like, I don't know. I haven't really followed it. I hear mixed things about like, is Ghibli still alive or not? But I just went on a binge watching like every Ghibli movie basically, and it is the best stuff ever put to film. It is so unbelievably textured and rich, and you can feel the craft. And of course, it's a movie. It's not a show, so they have the ability to spend more time and,
You mentioned
stuff.
Evangelion and how Evangelion ushered in a new age of anime, right? You want to know what I think a more recent age of anime?
Sure.
Sword Art Online ushered in a new age of anime. Sword Art Online did so well. It was so big. It hit such mainstreams. Every season since then now has, your isekai power fantasy anime.
That's true.
And
that's true.
I don't know if I would say that that's a direction I was happy with, but it's definitely a direction that it went. People are going to follow the money. People have been following the money since the beginning of time. And, I mean, I'd say that the recent Pokemon games suck, for example. I think, like, the first 5 gen of Pokemon are really good. The next 3 are just kind of meh. But Sword and Shield made the most money of all the Pokemon games.
Did they really make the most money?
Yes.
No.
I think aside from Red and Blue.
It's the most profitable media franchise of all time. Like, that's such a weird distinction.
But please forgive small studio. We cannot make real grass.
Like,
we don't have that energy or time.
Why do they have why should they fix the game? They're going to make the most money ever made. They have no incentive to make the game better.
That's what I'm saying. If they they're remaking Gen 4. So when they remake Gen 4, they could make it the exact same game and they'll make money on it. If they change things, they might not. So
see, this is something of what I was trying to get at in like my most recent video, the Mickle thing, that like I don't see any practical solution to like what do we blow up the corporations and start over? Excuse me. That doesn't seem like a good thing. And corporations in the past made some of my favorite things of all time. like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 6, blah blah blah, lots of Kingdom Hearts 1, etc., etc. Even Kingdom Hearts 2, while the soul was still there. But what's to be done to correct for that? The only thing I see is probably totally fictional and will not happen, which is getting just the consumer masses to buy the good things and not buy the bad things and have them like think about it. But you can't expect people to do that when most people play video games. Like the people they're marketing to, the most people who buy games do it simply for it's the new thing and I want to, not worry about my job today. I want to relax after work.
So I think that the future of content is more indie-me stuff, like
Right.
YouTube, for example,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
to do well on YouTube, you have to do something no one else is doing. You have to really, be funny in a way that other people aren't, make content
Right.
that other people aren't. Like, if you're just gonna go ahead and
you
copy
have to be the
PewDiePie,
Chad type, the Monka-esque mad
You know
lad
what? That
type.
is what I would say.
I
is
agree.
Find a
The
niche
very
to do
poggers
better.
mad type. Yes.
Right.
That gave me more joy than most content I've seen in the last several years. That video.
Well, the great news is it's been re-uploaded 1,000 times, so the world won't forget it.
That's true.
Oh, it got taken down. It got taken down by
because
YouTube.
it was claimed.
How?
got
Wait,
commu- I got community.
how?
I
Explain.
was wondering if that was a convenient excuse, or if you just thought, I don't want this represented, which I understand. Don't get me wrong.
Wait, Nux,
No, it got age
what was
restricted
wrong?
and demonetized, and I delete all my
Age
age restricted videos
Okay, all right, fair enough.
because they hurt the channel in the long
I
run.
don't remember anything that could get.
Well, I was talking about like the Twitch thought stream.
Oh,
Yeah, but you
I mean,
said
there are,
thought, but
girls
like
with,
Okay, fine.
and also I do think it got mass reported from like the Twitter stuff.
That's probably true.
Fair enough.
And that's really all it takes. No matter how tame a video
Fair
is,
enough,
if people
yeah,
just
true.
say they don't like it.
Yeah, I got
Yep.
age restricted. I tried. I appealed. I lost, and I just deleted it.
Understandable. Well, hey, moving on from anime though. How about video games? I know it's a similar kind of feel, but like the most recent E3 and the wasteland that was.
That's where my mind went when you were bringing this
Yeah,
whole up.
yeah.
Because like, first of all, just the idea of media in general, that's like pretty freaking vague, right? But to be fair, I
when
agree
I say
with you.
media, for me it's anime and video games. That's all I think about.
Fair enough. I was gonna say I do see this trend in both anime and video, like just
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
getting very homogenized. It's getting very like the current anime season. It's just like a pachinko board where they just buy up all the light novel rights they can and hope one of them lands in the hole that is the new Sword Art Online.
Too much anime is being made every year. There's always like more and more anime being made.
It's not just anime or video games. It's everything. You think Western media
Yeah.
is not like that too? You don't think every superhero movie is exactly
Yeah, I
the
was
same?
gonna say
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood is the other example where it's like everything is just getting bigger and bigger, inflated budgets. I feel like the age of the AAA game, it's
a
not
bubble.
dying because it's still going up, but like people are getting so skeptical of shit like Cyberpunk. Everyone thought Cyberpunk was gonna be the savior of video games, and it was some glitchy fucking. I don't want to get into the whole thing. But
I know Nate hates when I bring it up, but for me, Undertale saved video games.
I love Undertale. I mean, I think that the fandom got a little kooky there for a bit, but I'm a huge fan.
Yeah,
it's
but
a
I
great
really
game.
think it saved the day. It's like an indie game made by like one dude.
Oh, I
and
see.
It was. The graphics were not good, but it was such a powerful story, and people got so connected. Maybe too connected.
I had the 1-2 punch of Lisa and Undertale like right in a row, and I was just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
one person can make a video game. Like that really never entered my head before. Like I knew that was a thing, but like it was just such like a fringe edge case scenario in my mind. But I think that is the future, obviously, is indie games, but not just like indie versus AAA. It doesn't have to be that dichotomy. I want there to be like a healthy like AA type game. Because that was why games in the 90s could be better, because like they could make a big expansive game, but they didn't have to perfectly render an entire like giant open world in like beautiful HD graphics. You know what I mean? That's so expensive and time consuming. People really underestimate it.
That's exactly what I was trying to get at with my Mickle video. That like the emphasis is on the wrong syllable. That making Square. I always cite Square Enix, one of the producers or whatever, just said we had an unhealthy obsession with graphical quality. And to me, that's almost everything wrong with like modern games development. Just that like the AAA developers focus on these things that have mass appeal, and when you put it in a trailer, it visually looks good, and it's the easiest way to make a game look interesting, or like, in a format of a advertisement on TV or an internet ad or whatever. But none of that translates to like making the game playable and memorable and great, like something like Undertale, which had thought put into it and, was like one man's vision and blew it out of the park.
Yeah, but there are some like games where the visuals do it, like Dark Souls 3.
Of course.
Like
Yeah,
Dark Souls
Bloodborne,
3
fucking-
just like it took my breath away. You know?
I don't hate good graphics. I just don't think every game needs to be like. I mean,
It's
we're
about what the
approaching the
vision of the
limit
thing
here
is.
for real. Like that.
Would Shadow of the Colossus have been such a beloved game if it didn't have like really good, well-designed 3D colossi? Of course not, because that was fundamental to the vision of what the game is. But does Final Fantasy 15, for example, is it so much better than older games, compared to like let's say FF7, which was also a 3D game? Was it so much better because you could just hold down circle and Noctis would attack for 1,000 years without you having to do anything else? No, that did not make it better. Even though it was more fancy, it made it worse, in my opinion.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why Pokemon Black and White is like the era I like Pokemon more than everything that came afterward was downhill for me, like in a visual aspect of the games.
The sprites were so soulful. The 3D models with
it
barely
has
animation will never compare. They just can't.
The sprite has so much like personality and like looks great and colors and shit, and then the 3Ds were so boring.
You know, people argue about that word soul so often. One day I want to make a video defining soul.
It's a nebulous
and
term,
like
and it can be used in memey, shitposty non-arguments, but I feel like there is some actual substance to it. Like, I always use that word when I'm describing, like, Earthbound. Like, there's just a heart to it, you know what I mean? Like, there's some creative vision, you know what I mean?
Perfect example of Soul and Earthbound, that you have to have runway in order to use the teleport mechanic.
Right.
That is Soul right there.
There's a lot of good little
They didn't have to
flavor.
do that. That's great stuff. And you know, just on the game thing, just like with KyoAni being like the only good anime studio that I really pay attention to, making Dragon Maid, and you know, we said before, or something, I think Nux said that like it's all light novel adaptations. Dragon Maid, I don't know if it's a light novel or a manga, I forget offhand, but like KyoAni also does adaptations. So why are they good? They're good because the studio is good and they have a particular design ethos where everything they touch basically turns to gold because they put in the time and craft, and I guess they're lucky enough to make it work financially for them. And I was gonna say that like the game equivalent for that is From Software, which is why Elden Ring is like the only game I give a shit about.
It. Yes,
yeah.
Right.
It's the only
That's the
game
one.
I'm actually looking forward to aside from Deltarune 2.
Yeah, me too. And I don't care. I don't care that it's gonna be Dark Souls 4. I fucking want Dark Souls 4. They make the best games. I know generally what it's gonna
sad,
be.
Like you go to, for example, every game wants their game to be on the top of Twitch. Because that's how they're gonna make sales. Because there's nothing that'll advertise.
That's
the game
a very
better
weird,
than-
like, scenario. Or like a lot of games nowadays,
Right?
not get too sidetracked, are like designed around being a streamer game. Which
Yes,
is, or, like, it's
they're
so
designed
strange.
around being a streamer game, which is such a weird meta for gaming because
Right.
you
You're
can't
right.
have a game with a story. Every game with a story, once the game with the story ends, no one cares anymore. It needs to be an infinite game, like a battle royale or a MOBA.
That reminds me, do you guys know of the game Hello Neighbor?
No.
I've heard of it, yeah.
There was a point where that game
yes, I
kept
know what you're
fucking
talking about. The MatPat thing.
Yeah, they kept
It's so
fucking
funny.
adding MatPat on Twitter. Like, hey, we made new things in the game. We like,
No!
made new theories about it,
Oh
and they
my
kept
God.
adding
They
him.
know who the Kingmakers are.
'Cause, like,
know
they-
who
Funny.
the
There's,
Kingmakers
Because
like,
are.
this
Game
great
Theory made
screenshot.
one video of it, and then they kept fucking adding, we made new, like, sneaky things in the game.
It was such like it was such MatPat bait, and they were like the whole game was like MatPat bait of like we have
Please
creepy
give this to
theories.
the Pope, MatPat,
and then like
please give
and then
it to
you're
the
like,
Pope.
oh, I think they're constantly adding him like every time there's like an update, like, oh, I bet he'd enjoy dissecting this trailer. Oh, I bet you should check this one out with like the eyes emoji. It was just like it's just
Yeah, it
some
was
great
so sad.
Twitter cringe.
You want to hate on guys that do that, but were they wrong?
No, he's not even wrong. That's
they're
the funny
not
part.
It's
wrong.
not,
not
wrong,
even wrong.
but it's just...
Yeah.
Dude, a Pets Cop wasn't even a game, and it was more popular than games.
Remember Goat Simulator or whatever that was? That was one, you know. It's a whole new genre. That's the sort of thing. See, I feel like me and Cyber, I feel like we're the two boomerist people here. Maybe I'm wrong, Nux, but like I think of a game as I sit alone in a room, I play it autistically for thousands of hours and milk like every little piece out of it so that I can go on the GameFAQs boards and dab on everyone with how smart I am and all the secrets I discovered about it. Or go on GameFAQs and look up, you know, how to get the Knights of the Round Materia or whatever. That's how I see a game. This whole new idea of it needs to be shareable on Twitch, it feels so wrong but it's just a kind of a new world. Like, they're not wrong to recognize reality.
At the end of the day, they're making games to make money, and they're gonna make money if all the big streamers are playing Apex Legends. So they're gonna.
That's true.
You know.
And I hear some people say that like what's the solution? We say that it's the money incentive. Like, is the solution to like get rid of the profit motive in general? I don't think so, because again, companies in like the 90s used the profit motive to make good games, and ones that are like my favorite things to this day, Square being the biggest one. So like, it can't be that there's everything wrong with just the way it is. It's something about the current zeitgeist that's incentivizing things not in a great way. And I think it's got to be this like social media age that we're living through right now.
Do you think it's the social media age? Because you could say a lot of things kind of had the same life cycle. You know, it starts off with you're doing it for passion, and then people realize that this thing that you're doing for your passion can also make you money. Like, you've seen that on YouTube, right? The early YouTubers, they started off making content because they wanted to make content, like Smosh or whatever. They wanted to make funny skits or whatever. And then you see, as it progresses, you have Jake Paul saying, hey, I could just make millions of dollars on YouTube just acting it out and having 30% of each video ads for merch.
It's a strange paradigm shift where the Smosh guys just were like, let's make some freaking funny videos, guys, where we're lip syncing to the freaking Pokemon theme. Wouldn't that be epic? They didn't like get into it like a lot of these modern YouTubers. Like, I'm going to make money. Let's get some bank. Let's get a bag. Okay, let's start with the money and then like work backwards from that. How do I make videos that will get me money? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like strange.
You guys ever watch Balloon Shop? You ever watch Balloon Shop? One of like the original comedy skit channels on YouTube. Go search and listen. People listening to this, Balloon Shop Hot Pepper. Make yourself a good ass day by watching the Hot Pepper video.
Josh, how's that pepper?
That's a perfect example. Those guys were just a bunch of lads hanging out one afternoon and decide, like, let's make sketch comedy, put it on YouTube. And this was like way before the partner program existed or whatever. And like, I remember I watch a lot of like one of my fitness boys, Scooby 1961. That guy is just a huge old muscle building kind of guy. And back in the day, he used to pay his own money because he's like an engineer. These people had their minds blown because they used to pay for video hosting on websites so other people could watch their videos for free. Then one day, YouTube came along and says, hey guys, we will make it free for you to host and share your videos around the internet, upload to YouTube. Come over here, lads. We will take this cost off of you. What an incredible revolution that was for people who, like Scooby, who used to pay for it. So they still see YouTube in that way.
I guess we do take that for granted these days.
Yeah.
I remember that, man. I remember back in the day, Mega64.com, you used to have to download the MPEG files directly from the site, and it would watch them and take minutes at a time. It sucked.
Guys, you guys sound old.
We are old.
It sucked back then. Okay, there's this weird thing where YouTube, there was a brief period of time where YouTube wasn't the only viable video host. In fact, it was actually kind of shitty. It like had worse video quality and all these other things compared to sites like Vimeo and Vidler. And there was like a huge war, but like eventually it just came down to everyone started using YouTube because, you know, it got bought by Google. People could tell it wasn't going anywhere, you know what I mean? And it now it just ate up, it just eclipsed all its other competition, and now it's just it's a monolithic entity. Nothing can or will ever be able to compete with YouTube. That's my prediction. Like,
which is kind of scary, to be honest.
Right. It is not a good situation. It's kind of fucked, but it's like also like, how do I fix this? What do you do? Launch a YouTube competitor? But that doesn't work. You can't do that.
Dude, there's always OnlyFans.
There's always OnlyFans. There's always Pornhub.
The only reason Twitch worked was they did different from YouTube. I don't think you'd just launch a similar YouTube and then have that work.
They had a separate niche with the streaming.
Twitch worked because YouTube dropped the ball with streaming.
Yeah, true. YouTube fucked up. They had bad streaming for a long time. I think it's better now. Like it's mostly parody.
Dude, go to YouTube and find a live stream.
I don't stream on YouTube, so I wouldn't know, honestly. You're probably absolutely right. It's probably not as good as Twitch as a dedicated thing. It is better than it used to be, is all I'll say. It used to be somehow even worse of a live stream situation on YouTube.
I mean, if I live stream on YouTube, I'll get 5 times the viewers than if I stream on Twitch, just because I have such a much larger audience on YouTube. But good luck finding it. Like, you won't make it a career because you can't find streams.
Right.
Well, here's my Nux, in particular for you, I'm curious. Like, do you see yourself staying on YouTube like long term, or are you like concerned that you'll have to, move somewhere else at some point? As the guy with the most to lose here.
But like where move where else?
That's a great question. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
At this point, no, I can't see myself going anywhere else.
Yeah. Even in like 10 years, 20 years, something like that.
20 years, the internet will be a completely different thing.
There might be a new site in 20 years, you know what I mean? Like
That's true, yeah.
It'll exist I don't know, in 20 years, I'll just, I'll be rolling in my NFTs, okay? I'll be sitting on my mound of JPEGs.
I'm going to buy the Chad type, Monk S Mad Lad type
Yo,
NFT.
I should
That's gonna
totally
be
make an NFT, right?
You should. Unironically, yes, you will. You will succeed doing that.
Right. That'll be huge. Yo, maybe Cosmonaut Marcus will buy it.
Let's hope so.
I am positive all NFTs, every single sale, not every single one of them has been money laundering. There hasn't been one legitimate sale, not one single sale.
You think so?
You think so? You think so? I haven't really followed it too closely.
Not one, not a single sale, not even by like a confused person trying to get an NFTs. Every single sale has just been money laundering.
I believe it. It's the new, the art thief thing.
Right.
Right.
It's literally the art gallery shit, but just on a digital scale.
Yeah.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit. Do you guys get like TV show clips pushed onto your like YouTube feed? Like, watch this clip of Breaking Bad. Watch this clip of The Sopranos.
Yeah, I have a ton of
Yeah, I'm
Sopranos
getting a
lot
clips
of
because
that
I always
once in a
click the
while.
Sopranos ones because I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like watching the whole show, but I'll watch the scene again. Why not?
Yes, I will watch Tony meeting with Christopher in the basement. Yes, I will watch that 1,000 times. Thank you, YouTube, for
I
pushing
don't know.
that
The
to
only
me.
thing that, I get PTSD whenever I see, a Family Guy clip. I'm like, I want to click it, but also if I do, I'll only see Family Guy for
Right.
the next month. Do I click it
That's
or not?
true.
Yeah, the
That's
fucking
true.
algorithm is like, sometimes you'll click one thing and it's like, you must have loved that fucking video. And it has, especially with the shorter meme videos where it's like, you'll watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you watched the whole thing, you must have loved that. It's like, I didn't have a chance to not watch the whole thing. The video was like 2 seconds long, you know what I mean?
I get this Breaking Bad one pushed to me, and I'm a little embarrassed to say how educational it was for me. That one Breaking Bad clip of Saul teaching Jesse how money laundering works.
Right.
And I'm like, oh,
It's a pretty good little
of
explanation.
course.
And like,
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's like, this is a nail salon.
got the basics.
exactly.
Well, it's
See,
a
we
great.
all
It's
know.
great because it makes sense in the context of the show. Like, it's not just Saul explaining to the audience; he's explaining it to Jesse, who's dumb as fuck and would need it to be explained in that degree.
Yeah. And I'm as dumb as Jesse, I guess. I also need it explained to my baby gamer brain.
God, I wish I had enough money that I needed to launder it.
That's the dream. That's the dream.
Well, you tell us a couple more stories about Dick Tree and Operation Soda Steel, and there's hope for you yet.
Yeah, I specifically mentioned this to you. Like, I was like, both of those videos while I was making them, I was like, nobody's gonna care about this. This is such a stupid waste of time. But they both did really well, and I
know,
keep
right?
forgetting people on the internet like weird internet lore stories. That's why guys like Justin Wang can be super popular, and they basically just tell old internet stories.
Like
you
the
know what I
normal
mean?
YouTube audience, I think, loves guys like you who can mine for the super autistic stories out there and share it with the masses, so they get a little voyeur into the forums.
You guys didn't have to waste a decade of your life on something awful. I'll just relay you the highlights.
Exactly. And you know what? It's a great service. I never would have known about Operation Soda Steel if you hadn't done it. And it's about how you tell the story. So got to give yourself credit too. It's all about the delivery.
That's a big point, honestly. It does come down to the storytelling aspect.
yeah.
I feel like, again, I say this to anyone, I feel like I got super lucky with the Soda Steel video because that MS Paint
is
picture
beautiful.
just perfectly. It's the perfect thumbnail. You couldn't ask for more. It's like it has the whole ethos of the video just in one shitty MS Paint drawing that's hilarious looking and very you see that you just want to see
Well,
what the fuck.
I just looked it up right now. I'm definitely gonna watch it right after this.
Nux, you will be blown away. You will love it. I guarantee it.
I mean, those are the types of video that gets recommended to my YouTubes, and I always just listen to long ass story videos.
Oh,
Since
did
I
you want
use
to
that
hear a
for
4-hour
editing,
documentary about Nikocado avocado? Well, I have the place for you.
It's crazy. The algorithm, I swear to God, right now it only seems to love fucking short ass 15-second videos or 5-hour long videos.
Yeah.
It's like those are the two kinds of videos it seems to want to push right now.
So that was my inspiration for making a second channel. So I have a main channel, Nux Taku, where I post once a week, and it's a big, slightly edgy Mr.
Video.
Beast,
The main channel.
meme video, tournament, $1,000 prize. And then I have my second channel where I upload stream highlights twice a day. And as the algorithm shifts back and forth, it's this channel is doing better this month. This channel is doing better this month. It's fun to watch.
I mean, that long video you made about YouTube actually gave me a lot of insight because all I do is very short, highly edited videos, right? So every time I make something very longer, it will always perform worse than the ones I make shorter, right? And when you explain how like, oh, YouTube remembers how like, oh, you make a lot of short videos in a like long period of time, then all of a sudden when you make like a long ass video, they might the algorithm might not favor it that much, or like vice versa. If you always make like long videos and then all of a sudden you make a short video, that might not do as well either.
Yeah.
So like that gave me a lot of insight.
Yeah, that's why I'm always so depressed when I upload like songs, like the music video parodies that you like so much, the Poggers ones.
I do.
So I'm always scared to upload them because I'm obviously gonna get way less watch time, so YouTube won't promote it. So I never know what to do. Like, do I make a separate music channel? Like, that's what Dream did. Like, Dream is too big to fail, and he made a separate channel for one song.
Yeah.
And it was based.
Wow, that's crazy. It's funny. It is kind of crazy. The algorithm will like, you don't want to piss off the algorithm, and you don't want to piss off your existing fan base. You don't want to be uploading shit that's too different than they would be expecting from you. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Dream song, have you heard the Sussy remix?
I suck his dick with a smile for hours at a time.
It got taken down. It got F in the chat for the Sussy remix.
Oh,
F in the chat for the
so
Sussy
sad.
remix. It got taken down.
It's the greatest song of all
Tragic.
time, the Sussy remix specifically. Go find it. I mean, I kind of have the opposite problem from Afy. I like exclusively make either big videos or fuck huge videos, which I don't like and I want to do something about desperately. Because like my most popular videos by far are like the lectures that I've done historically that are like 4 hours long talking about a thing, and obviously it's the best thing for the algorithm that I do personally.
But you can't just pump one of those out every month.
Yeah, of course
and expect them to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could, but you can't keep the quality up. You know what I mean?
There's only so many things. I know that well.
Like honestly, the hardest part of the lecture shit is picking the right fucking topic, because if you pick the wrong one, it's brutal.
Although, you know what? My Final Fantasy one was a big dud, I think, because like it didn't have the same thing, and yet it's like still almost as popular as the other ones, so there's something to it.
There's definitely a market for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, not to shit on that one or anything, but like
It's the
I
worst
will always
one.
be gravitate towards the more deep dive into something like Tails Gets Trolled or something like that, versus like here's a huge overview of a massive series, which is like, again,
I mean,
there is
I
actually
love that one,
there is
so-
actually a value to like here's everything that happened in One Piece in one video, which is crazy.
My One Piece one is my most popular one.
Yeah,
so like
there is a value to
that's
that.
obviously. Yeah.
Wait, your One Piece video is your most popular video? It passed the Gurren Lagann one?
Oh, it did pass the Gurren Lagann one. Well, actually, my most popular video by far is the Galco Chan.
right? Yeah, I was
Here's
gonna say.
why
Damn!
she's a cutie.
Oh, I
That one
remember
still
that.
blew up. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody's favorite weaponized thickness.
And also, your Smash videos did really well too, right?
Yeah,
Your
they did
Smash
pretty
videos
well.
do well.
For me, on my channel, it's pretty much like the Smash videos do well, the long videos do well, and like I think if I keep making like anime meme review things with like a message that people care about, they would do well. But that Galco one was kind of an outlier. Like the female audience on that, I've talked about before, is like way bigger than all my other videos. So that had like a unique audience I don't usually get on that video. So I don't know.
That was just like recommended to a specific target.
That was your one moment, Nate. You could have pivoted to being a girl channel, and
I
been
should have
only
been a girl
channels.
channel. I should have been. I could still become a VTuber, put a girl avatar
I know a
there.
guy. It's like I would go as far as to say that that's what the point of the mask is.
Oh yeah.
Dude, have you seen the amount of fucking donations these VTubers get in their
It is
streams?
insane.
It is
insane.
insane.
And then they call me a simp.
I kind of thought they were going to be terrible, but I gotta say, ever since I saw a couple of those clips,
Some of them, like Corone ones, I'm not like an
Corone's,
expert.
the meatball,
She's got some really good ones.
Yeah.
There's like, I don't want to.
Dora.
I mean, they are fun. They are very fun.
That is the weirdest thing, which is like you have to hire someone, and it's like a real job. Like it's not.
Yeah,
like
that's
these-
the thing,
they're-
that's the
It is a
thing.
literal like job. They're
It's a
signed.
business.
It's like they're basically like idols, practically. It's just the new wave of idols in Japan. Like this they have contracts. They have to like they'll graduate, which is a weird thing. Like
I mean,
Coco
the
just
Japanese
graduated.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese
Rip
ones.
to the Dragon Girl.
But again, you're referring to like the
I'm sorry, the
company.
big HoloLive
yeah, the
stuff.
Hollow.
Yeah.
Like,
I know you can just be a VTuber too. That's another thing that's like
The only thing that's like rough with HoloLive is like I start talking to one of them and then I'm like, oh, we should collab, and they say, oh, that sounds great, and then they're
me
like, let me
talk
ask
to my company.
manager.
right.
I'm like,
I still think it's fucking crazy how it didn't all start technically, but like the first one that blew up was Kizuna Ai, right? But then she just like fell off the fucking map. They think they should like there was some controversy where she like changed voice actresses, which is like
Well,
the
that'd be
company
an
thinks
issue,
they can
wouldn't
just
it?
change
Yeah.
voice actresses and be no big deal, but like it's not an anime character, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, weren't there like 3 different Kizuna eyes in one? I remember.
Yeah.
I remember Kizuna Ai was was enjoyable, and that kind of opened the door for everybody. Yeah, but I mean, of course, it's all about the voice behind it and whatnot. But I mean, she also was the product of like a company. So who knows?
I don't want to get too weird about it, but like there is something slightly concerning about the parasocial, like, yo, it's a real anime girl, guys. You can really give money to a real anime girl, and she'll say your name, and it's not weird at all. But I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, this should be banned. This is bad. They shouldn't allow it. I'm not saying that.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I think the parasocial relationship with streamers is, it's very similar.
I like a lot of the clips I've seen. It happens. It's sort of unavoidable in a weird way. I try to keep I antagonize my audience, and I try to prevent that, but it's impossible.
That's true. I mean, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Never mind. This is one of the classic moments to be cut out from the episode. Woo! You did it, Nate. Good job.
No, leave it in.
Now I have to leave it in. Yeah. We're getting fairly close to the end of the hour, and I did want to read you guys a story, an internet story. I had an idea to do crazy internet stories, so I did find one, and it's funny enough that I just wanted to read it to you all.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Hit me with it.
I bet you've heard this one before, Cyber. This is a legendary copy pasta that makes the rounds. Well, I guess it's not really copy pasta. It's just a legendary post from an individual on the V board. And here it is. Okay, so just brace yourself for this story. It's short, but it has a punch. Okay, here we go. Direct quote from this old post. Okay. And I believe it's in response to someone talking about like a Zelda character or something. And this person replies, when I had a going into games machine. Yeah,
I already know the going into games machine post. Sorry, go ahead.
When I had a going into games machine, this would have been early 2006, I used to go into Majora's Mask a lot. And one of my favorite things to do was fondle Romani at the ranch. One of the great things about fondling video game characters is they don't fight back or struggle because they don't recognize you as a player character. It's like you don't exist. But let me tell you, she smelled like shit. In fact, everybody in that game did. I got used to it after a while, but that first moment when I smelt Romani up close, I was almost sick. She looks clean and nice when you see her on television, but when you stood next to her, it's a different story. The machine was stolen in the end, and I'm kinda glad it had started to take over my life. All right, that's the full story.
I will admit, I could have gone my whole life without hearing that.
I would have lived half a life if I hadn't heard that story personally.
But where is
now
it
that
today?
I know,
Where did it go? Who ended up with
that's
the going into games
out.
machine?
We need to find the going into games machine, so I can go in and confirm if Romani does in fact smell like shit. I'm wondering if
I love that that's like the one detail
he
he was like about going into a video game, which is like this crazy like supernatural thing. He's just like, they smelled like shit, but it was cool. I got used to it.
That's the one detail that he remembers more than anything else. If I had a going into games machine, the things that I would do, I would go into Sonic Racing, and I'd run really fast. I'd go into Sengoku Rants and be the true king of Japan. And that's about it. That's what I would do if I had a going into games machine.
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact. And I would
for the waifus. He would impact some Genshins.
Pokemon.
Dude, Pokemon, that would be huge.
That's pretty much all I wanted to bring up. We talked about all the subject matters I had. Elden Ring. Are you guys as looking forward to Elden Ring as I am? It's like the only game. You know what? There's one other game I care about, and I just bought it, and it's Twoey 2, Neo Twoey. And it's like Nomura. It's like there's this thing with Nomura where when he's restrained and just does like the art, the game turns out good. When you just let him run and he makes Kingdom Hearts, it becomes the worst thing ever.
That's what I always heard was he's a great character artist. I mean, it's a little wacky if you got the belts and stuff, but I mean, it's always great, fun designs. But then it's like, I don't know, somehow he ended up as the supreme grand designer of this stuff, and it's like, I don't know.
That's the thing, and it's because he was involved in writing, like to various degrees, some of the games. Like he directly was involved with like the Final Fantasy VII plot going the way it did, and I think it was his suggestion to not to kill Aeris, because that was always there, but to not kill the entire cast, which was the original plan, I think. So like so you can see kind of like why he would get a foot in the door into the writing space as well. But like they let him go too far.
There's a sort of similar situation at Sonic Team right now where the guy in charge, Iizuka, he's like the last remaining member of the original Sonic Team, but he's pretty much just a level designer, and that's what he's good at. Like he's not really that good at managing a franchise, unfortunately.
I guess with like, because we're, like I talked about way before, we're kind of in this very early stage of like video game development. It's not like people kind of know how to like write a book.
It is
and
weird
how
to think
do
about.
that
You mentioned
stuff.
this earlier. I was going to harp on this. Like it is such a new art form. Like it doesn't seem new because it's been there my entire life, but like it's pretty much brand fucking new. Like even film, a lot of people consider that to be a pretty new art form because it's only been around for 100 years. You know what I mean? Video games. Are like
When
less
film
than that.
first came out, people argued it would never be like true art and stuff, and we just take that for granted now. But frankly, it's an open question, as with video games, and I mean, you know, Roger Ebert famously saying they'll never be real real art, et cetera, et cetera.
And I'm glad he's dead. How dare he say that about video games?
I snatched the jaw right out of his mouth when he said that shit. Hey.
He never even played Undertale. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, those pixels.
If he had,
goddamn.
that would have convinced him.
Yeah, we lost cause.
That would have changed his mind. I have no doubt.
But the question is, when is the Sans NFT coming out?
So, if my understanding is right, an NFT has to be tied to like a specific thing. Would it be like a Sans JPEG that he made at one point?
Yeah, I was thinking Sans JPEG with like Megalovania playing.
Yeah. Okay. I understand.
This funny thing is, Toby, he really could release one, and it would make a shitload of money. But
Oh, he'd make millions.
He just does.
he
just,
would.
He
He
really
would.
doesn't seem like the kind of guy who would do that. He seems very self-conscious about like he knew it would piss off a lot of people, and he wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean?
That's true. And he is over
Yo,
the hill.
speaking of MadPat, you remember when he called out MadPat on Twitter?
Wait,
Oh,
what?
what did he say? He just said that like it was dumb.
MadPat played some game. It was like an Undertale ripoff type game from some other indie guy, and he titled it The New Undertale something something. And then that company that released the indie game was like, yo, I know it'll get more clicks if you title it as Undertale, but can you at least title it My Game so that my game can get recognition? And then MatPat says, no, well, you see, the algorithm is not like that. Doobity hooba hooba. And then Toby Fox responds saying, wow, MatPat, not cool. You should definitely title it that. And he was like, of course I'll change the title. Anything for you.
Of course.
Good times.
They're both my heroes, Toby Fox and Matt Pat. I aspire to be like both of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're like my Romulus and Remus. They're the two wolves inside me, and they animate me. Well, that and wanting to be a Monka-esque Mad Lad type. That's my main thing.
This is so sad.
God, I hope Deltarune comes out before I die. It's taking so long. It feels like it's taking
Realistically, what are we looking at? Like a decade, maybe?
I'm guessing
5,
a
6
year.
years.
I'm guessing a year.
forever. I'm gonna assume
1 year, you think?
I'm gonna go. He said something like 7 years, but like
No!
Yeah.
But that
He
was
did,
from
back
his
in the day.
original starting of working on it, which was like not like the second
2 years ago.
Undertale ended, but like it was like he's been obviously he was working on it before he.
No, but
you
this
know,
is
released
just
the first
chapter
game.
2. There are going to be more chapters probably.
Oh right,
I'm
yeah.
just-
He's planning to release the whole thing together. He
Right,
said.
I
He
thought-
didn't
yeah,
like-
chapter
I mean,
one is a demo.
Maybe he changed his mind, but
I was
yeah,
under the
yeah.
impression that what Nate is saying is
Oh, I
correct,
didn't
and that he was
realize
going to
that.
do the rest of the game in one big chunk.
Well, in that case, it'll probably be longer.
But whatever, I'd rather him take his time. I don't really want to be the guy who's like bitching, release it now. Like, just take your time.
How crazy of a moment was it when the Undertale account tweeted, like, tomorrow?
Yeah,
You
that
remember
Deltarune shit was crazy.
That was so insane.
That really picked my spirits up after the fucking Grinch leak turned out to be fake, and I was coping and seething and crying about it.
Honestly, it's way
God.
more nicer to just like
Gino!
hear about something, forget about it, and then when it comes out, you can play it.
Right.
That's the way that we want to operate, but of course, like in the social media space that we exist in now, like attention is just raw currency now.
Right.
So
See, that was the thing
that's
about
the
your
issue.
Mickle video, which is that like that could be helpful to like a younger person, but
Yeah.
I was burned so bad by Metal Gear Solid 5. I will never be hyped for a game ever again. I will
Right,
temper all my
right.
expectations and accordingly. Like I am hyped for Elden Ring, like because just that's a rare situation where you really can trust FromSoft. They've got a
I
great
trust
track
From,
record.
yeah.
They could always fuck it up. People said, "Oh, CG Projekt Red's got a great fucking track record," and look
And
at
they
that
did.
track-
They did
though.
have
Yeah,
a
that's the
great
thing.
track
There was
record,
reason.
yeah.
There was perfectly legitimate reason to think that Cyberpunk was going to be great.
But the thing about From and Elden, like Elden, they're not making the crazy promises.
I trust them to do the Dark Souls formula. I
yeah,
trust
exactly.
them to do that formula.
We know what they're
Like,
doing.
They
There's
perfected
There's
it.
little room to fuck it up. Ignore Dark Souls 2.
Right. That was
B-Team,
B
please.
team.
It's also kinda
Exactly.
like-
Please.
Look, it's also
Yeah.
kind of similar, like in, for example, when it comes to studios in anime. Like I remember, like back
Yeah.
in the day, everybody would always be hyped when Madhouse would make a show, and then later
of
on
course,
it
of
became
course.
Bones, and later now it's like, oh, it's Studio Mappa. Studio Mappa is good, and like I feel like every time some new comes into the
Yeah.
start watching anime or whatever, they're like, oh, they learn, oh, all my favorite shows comes from this studio.
Well, I remember when Kill la Kill came out, and everyone was saying Trigger saved
Yeah,
anime.
Trigger was the
See,
yeah, there was,
but
Trigger was
that's
the
the
big
thing.
thing at some point, right?
And Imaishi's great. Like there was great innovations in Promare and stuff. But like I still wonder, like, okay, can we please get the fairly fast turnout of like just shows, even with they don't have to make Gurren Lagann 2 the way somebody like me pisses and shits himself wanting, but like not literally that. I would kill myself if they made Gurren Lagann 2. Right. But you know, like more Imaishi projects, but they're like slow. It feels like everything's slowing down due to like I don't know, corporate red tape or something.
Think Trigger
I don't know.
Sucks personally. I think
Trigger
Trigger's just garbage.
Well,
I mean,
I
I just stopped trusting studios.
Little Witch is all right.
No,
I don't
it's
know.
not really. It's like 25 episodes of boring.
It's still one of those shows I kind of want to watch, but because people are so lukewarm overall, I just haven't felt the need.
The OVA is better than the show. Like the OVA is better.
Yeah.
I haven't actually watched the show, and that's what I've heard.
And they made like Kisniver and like
Right, I don't care about that. I'm not gonna watch that.
No,
like I don't know, like you want the something like Kill la Kill. We all were like, holy shit, Kill la Kill looks great. It's clearly got the soul that we all want. And they had a big marketing push to get everybody to give a shit. So we did. And then it was really good. And it pretty much lived up to the hype for the most part. I've been meaning to go rewatch it.
If you're looking at what the hype is these days, it's just the really well animated shonen, you know?
It's like the perfect example, I think for me, it's just the one that clarifies everything, is in season 1 of Demon Slayer, just that one clip of the big fiery sword slash at the end. Like that was
19.
the thing.
That was
episode 19.
Yeah.
And that's what made me watch the show, basically. And
I mean,
it
that was what
good.
was going around on Twitter when that came out.
You remember when that came out, Ninja tweeted Demon Slayer is the best anime.
Best anime of all time, right? Yeah. Fuck off, man. I mean, look, he's not in the space. You know, he doesn't know his history.
He doesn't know his history, but he hated the Chimera Ant arc from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, no. Greed Island's better. Greed Island is.
Oh, not you two.
Here we go. Greed Island Chads, let them know that we know the best arc of Hunter x Hunter. Please. I'm begging. Am I alone here?
All right, well, I was going to promote the podcast, but now I'm not.
No, in good conscience. I understand. Well, hey, if you want, I know you got to go. We can wrap it up here. If anybody else has anything to say, feel free to lay it out there. But otherwise, productive, good start to the Gamerzone.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, a delight as always. What did you say to call it at the beginning? I can't remember offhand.
I don't know. I didn't write it down.
Didn't write. Okay, well, hopefully it's in the history book somewhere. You'll see based on the title. Who won this battle of ideas?
There we go. Honestly, I think Gamerzone is probably a better.
It's a shit name as everything I title. Like the name of my channel, I just made up one day and convinced myself to not worry about it. That's the exact same spirit.
I never thought about this shit. But
you
like
had a weekly show, Weagawa, okay?
Well, the most memorable show of all time.
I never think about like search engine optimization because I just like randomly had this name and I was like, whatever, it's pretty unique, it's fine. But yeah, people have to like
isn't that how we all came up with our names?
People have to like pick up their name and like make sure it isn't like the buried 20,000 pages deep on Google. You know
Fucking
what I mean?
my name is an abbreviation of a shitty name.
Yeah, does the name of a channel even really matter that much? It's all about the name of the video and the thumbnail, right? I mean, when it comes to people find, I would think anyway.
You know what? You actually, I changed my mind. You're right. The name of a podcast really doesn't matter that much, honestly.
It's just, it's the thing you started with that like, Nux Taku exposed for being cringe and Afy confirmed Dutch. How embarrassing, whatever. Things of this nature. All right, anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Now, you do realize now you have to call this episode Nux Taku exposed cringe Afy-Sama.
It's exposed for being cringe. I'll probably do that. That's a good idea. All right, unironically, yes. All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for being here, boys.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Maybe we'll do it again sometime in the future. I don't know. I've got no plans here, just an experiment. Gamerzone out.